New from Eureka and part of their Lucky Stars trilogy is Winners and Sinners, released in 1983, directed by Sammo Hung, starring him, Jackie Chan, Yuen Biao and a bunch of other folk. And this is a Hong Kong comedy that is one of those movies that really doesn't have much of a plot until the final 20 minutes when they feel like they have to wrap up the story in one way or another. But this is one of those movies that's really rather funny, engaging. I liked all the characters and I decided very early on that I was very much along for the ride on this one. At the start of the movie we meet our 5 characters as they, or some of the characters, as they end up in jail. They're all criminals doing various things. They get put into jail together. When they get released they decide to join a cleaning company, the 5-star cleaning company. And that's basically a kind of simple premise of the movie. And another kind of unrelated side story, we have Jackie Chan's police officer character who is constantly just doing things wrong, well, being kind of cool and doing great stunts as well. It seems weird. They only encounter each other a couple of times. There's no real crossover, so to speak, other than one scene in a kind of fast food restaurant. And it just feels odd. It just feels like, oh, all of a sudden you can have Jackie. We better put him in somewhere. Let's just squeeze him into this one. And this is one of those ones where it's a group of grown adults, and for the majority of the time they're just vying over a girl or trying to get a glimpse of boobs at certain points. You know, and it just feels kind of like unnatural, silly, kind of tongue-in-cheek fun, but it's kind of funny. It's really kind of engaging. I liked all these characters hanging out together, poking fun at each other. And it was actually a good half hour into the movie before we got our first proper fight action scene. And I was enjoying the movie that much that I didn't even realise we were that long into it until we got the first kick-ass scene. The action's great and it's kind of varied in different ways in the way they go about it. In this one, there is a wonderful car pile-up scene which is just delightful and just keeps going and going and going. In fact, there's such a wonderful car crash during it that they show it several times and repeat, which I kind of love when they do things like that. It's silly, it's fun, it's just completely bonkers. There's so many weird and wacky things just pop up during this movie that's just a pure joy to watch. There is a version of Young Turks during this movie that comes out of nowhere, that has no purpose in the movie, but damn, I enjoyed the hell out of that. There is a roller skate sequence involving Jackie Chan that doesn't really mean anything, doesn't matter, it's just there for the sake of it and it's kind of fun. But the movie gets by on a lot of the charm in amongst the group. But one of the standout sequences that I utterly loved was the invisibility sequence. One of the guys is determined that he can chant these mantras and become invisible, and the other guys just tease him relentlessly in a just incredibly fun sequence. If there's anything I'd say this movie's missing, it's more Yuen Biao. I could have done with a lot more of him in the movie. He's got one brief fight scene with Jackie Chan and it's great. It's one of the best ones in the movie. Near the end of it, they kind of shoehorn in this whole Triad storyline of counterfeit money that the guys get involved with, and it just feels kind of rushed and forced and not really necessary for the plot, but kind of needs to give it some closure along the way. So you have our troop of guys evading and battling back against these Triad gang members to overcome and save the day. I really liked Winners and Sinners. I thought it was great. I thought the cast was wonderful. Really enjoyed lots of it. I thought the humour was actually pretty great. It was one of those ones that even though it didn't have a plot for much of the movie, I didn't care. I just enjoyed seeing these guys interact and kind of throw each other under the bus a lot during situations. And I'm really looking forward to jump onto My Lucky Stars, the second entry in this, and hopefully that'll be just as good. I'd love to know your thoughts on Winners and Sinners. Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.